Top match racing crews from around the world are gathering on the north shore of Lake Constance for the first event of the 2013 Alpari World Match Racing Tour. We catch up with the skippers and tour card holders before the event and before the wind kicks in on Lake Constance.
Yeah, 2012 ended up to be a great season for us. We finished third. Last year, we didn't put a whole lot of focus on the tour, to be honest. We put the America's Cup sailing in front of it and decided to focus a lot more on that. So 2013, the focus is on the tour 100%. That's been our goal we set 5 years ago, is to win it 2013. And so we're putting everything we have into this year, and we're just going to go as hard as we can and try and take the sucker out.
We had a good start of the year for sure. We came back and won both Korea and Sweden, which was fantastic for us.
Yeah, 2012 season was fantastic for GAC Pindar. We thought that we'd blown it in St Moritz when we were knocked out before the quarterfinals. Good old Mathieu Richard came to our rescue really and beat Bjorn in the quarterfinals there. Came out strong after that. We won the two next regattas, Chicago and France, and we went to Malaysia with a decent shot at winning.
All the teams this year are going to be very, very hard to beat. It's going to be a very, very tight tour, I think, and consistency is probably going to be a big factor this year, and just trying to clock in podium finishes at each event and then ramp it up for the end of the season.
My approach has always been just to be a little bit better the day after the day before, you know, and it's really just about tightening up with the communication and the skills and everything on board, just to get a little bit more accurate and therefore, you know, a little bit more consistent.
Team-wise, you know, I don't think anyone's strong, anyone's weak.
Team Alpari FX being back in the tour has raised the game, and it's going to make it a lot harder for Williams and Bjorn and Phil.
It'll probably come down to teamwork and who's got the best team at the end of the day. It's not the skipper, it's not anyone else on board, it's all working together, and that's going to be a big part of it.
There's a bit more pressure as one of the tour card holders this year, but you know, we're sailing with the same team, kind of doing the same thing. So we're just going to, again, take it one race at a time, and I think we've definitely raised some eyebrows, but you know, we're not going to change anything on our part. So
I don't know, I'm just going to treat every race as I always do. I want to go out there and win.
We've won the last two Alpari World Match Racing Tours. Of course we wouldn't be happy unless we win another. It's not to say it'll be easy, but that's got to be our goal, and that's what we'll be trying to do.
I think it's always nice to beat the other Kiwi team, that's for sure, so we'll put a target on Minoprio's head and try and take him out.
We're going to do what we've got to do to win, mate.
So after all the anticipation, the qualifying round of the 16th Match Race Germany finally got underway. All teams started under grey stormy skies and a shifting wind pattern, which finally settled in from the southwest and was just about strong enough to sail, but rarely getting above 10 knots. The organisers ripped through 10 flights of the qualifying round, bringing all of the 12 international teams up to 5 races sailed. At the end of day one, the leaderboard looked like this. Ian Williams, Mathieu Richard and Pierre-Antoine Morvan are all tied on 4 wins and 1 loss. Following closely behind are 4 teams on 3 wins and 2 losses: Taylor Camfield, Keith Swinton, Adam Minoprio and Bjorn Hansen. Whilst Phil Robertson and Johnny Burnson struggle on 2 wins and 3 losses. Alpari Team FX are one of those teams in the hunt for qualification, and the matchup one that everyone has anticipated for a while is Adam Minoprio, ex-world champion, versus newbie and winner of 2 events in 2012, Taylor Camfield.
going into that race against Adam Minoprio, we knew it was going to be a tough match, and we knew that was kind of going to be a key point later in the event. We again just went into it really calm and smooth, and just like any other race. And you know, we came in with the starboard advantage, which was nice, and you know, we got off the pre-start relatively even.
Speed build mode.
We felt we were strong off the start line, and we ended up tacking just as probably a tad too late in a hole, and from there, if you tack these boats in a bit lighter pressure, you never get your speed back.
Just after the start, made it across to the right side of the course, which we also thought was pretty nice, and right filled in and rounded the winter mark ahead, and we're able to hold it from there.
So far in the regatta, we're on 4 wins and 4 losses, so we're at even. Still have 3 races left, and if we want to be comfortable into the quarterfinals, we need to take all 3 races.
Nice guy Bjorn Hansen, and one of the veterans of the Tour, came second overall last year. He's come back aggressively this year and powered through qualifying, and is confident of progressing to the quarters. The heavyweight flight back to decide the overall winner of qualifying was in the final flight of qualifying, when Williams crew GAC Pindar lined up against Taylor Canfield's crew US1.
GAC Pindar came into the day with 6 wins and 2 losses, and we always knew that the key match was going to be against Taylor Canfield to top the round robin, and that's the one we were really fired up for. We got away from the dial up first and had a nice timed run around the committee boat to the starboard end of the line, and really that gave us the control for the first beat that allowed us to actually stretch away a little bit and make the rest of the race comfortable.
We're just happy to have made the quarterfinals. I think that's kind of your first goal is every team at the event is to make the quarters. So we had an opportunity to take the top spot in the round robin, but lost our last race against Williams. So you know we're right in the position we wanted to be coming into it. So we're pretty happy.
We lead Williams for 90% of the race, and he passed us right at the finish just with a random puff really on the last downwind, and that was a bit disappointing, having sailed so well for so long. And then exactly the same with Morvan, just led him for the whole race, bar the last top mark, and yeah, just got it wrong, so couldn't close it out, which is a real shame, and I think we'll get knocked out. Having so much control for both the races that we had to win and lose them both was yeah, it's a pretty nasty feeling right now.
Team Alpari FX is extremely happy today, and we managed to get 2 wins against 2 tough competitors, Johnny Robertson and Matthew Richard. So feel like we're building up towards stronger and stronger as the regatta goes on.
We tend to be pretty strong in the round robins, and you know, the important time is the last day, is the semi-finals and the finals. So we'll do all we can to have a good performance there, and we'll see how we go.
So with Williams beating Canfield, he tops the leaderboard, with Matthew Richard and Taylor Canfield in 2nd and 3rd on 8 wins and 3 losses. Hansen comes in a close 4th, just half a point down deducted from an earlier collision. And the final qualifying places go to Adam Minoprio, Johnny Burnson and ex-America's Cup skipper Karol Jablonski. Day 4 and yet another weather pattern, this time strong winds from the west with forecasted gusts up to 25 knots and a sizable swell. It was going to be an interesting day on the water, with the teams all needing to reach 3 points to proceed through to the semi-finals, where one of them would meet Ian Williams, who was already through to the last 4 by winning the qualifying heats. Having the easiest ride through the semi-finals was France's Matthew Richard, who won both his matches today against the Polish former America's Cup helm and ISAF match racing world champion Karol Jablonski. Adam Minoprio once again did his comeback kid routine. His Team Alpari FX crew lost today's first race to Bjorn Hansen's team after picking up a penalty for failing to keep clear as the 2 boats came together up the first beat. This left the Kiwi team 1-2 down. Race 4 was a crucial match in which Adam Minoprio had to win.
We rejoin our quarterfinal. Adam Minoprio up against Bjorn Hansen. Hansen away, winning 2 to get to match point. He's 2-1 up against Adam Minoprio. He is leading this match down towards the finish.
You've got us below boat lane, green.
Adam Minoprio looking to try to attack the breeze of Bjorn Hansen. Wind still thundering down the lake here. Match race Germany, Lake Constance. Has Bjorn Hansen and his team got the nerve and the cool to hold this position through to the finish? Adam Manoprio is all over their air. They need to hold on to this lured position and get air clear behind. That's certainly what Bjorn Hansen's looking to do. Adam Manoprio sailing low, trying to get down onto the breeze of Bjorn Hansen. We're going to see a luff. I think we're going to see some fireworks between these two teams. Here comes Bjorn Hansen. Up with a very aggressive luff. Yeah, just a key mistake. You see the spinnaker of Bjorn Hansen just beginning to break. Handing the advantage back to Adam Manoprio. Both teams trying to get Bavarian match 40s up onto these waves, just starting to build on the race course. First the surge to Adam Manoprio, then the surge to Bjorn Hansen. Absolutely neck and neck between these two. We are on ley line to the finish. There's the serve for Bjorn Hansen, there's the serve for Adam Manoprio. Both crews working hard. We can see the main fanning, trying to get every last bit out of the boat. The concentration on the face of these two skippers tells the story as we come down to the line. There's only feet between them. Adam Manoprio with a late surge, I think, has a small advantage. It may well come down to the bias on the line as we come through. And Adam Manoprio there sneaking round in front of Bjorn Hansen to take that win to 2-2.
In the other quarter-final, Berntsen had Camfield on the ropes with a 2-0 advantage, including one race where he'd recovered from 2 penalties down after hooking into his own personal breeze. Camfield fought back to even the scoreline. With Hansen and Camfield losing their final races, the semi-final pairings of Williams, Manoprio, Richard and Berntsen, 2 ex-world champions from 4 nations and 3 continents, battling it out on German water to become champion of Match Race Germany. Join us in part 2 for semi-final and finals action from Match Race Germany.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Welcome back to part 4 of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour from Match Race Germany. And it's the day that matters. It's the business end of the regatta. So the semi-final pairings are in Match 1, Ian Williams, GAC Pindar and Johnny Berntsen's Stennis Sailing Team, whilst the second pair were Adam Manoprio's Team Alpari Team FX against Mathieu Richard's GEFCO Sailing Team. The first of the semi-finals happened in light and shifting winds following the raging storm, but in a tale of 2 halves. Once the storm died down, the conditions changed, and Lake Constance, wedged between various weather patterns, proved a tricky place to sail.
Conditions are very different this afternoon, really less wind, but still waves, probably big waves on the race course. So tricky conditions on those boats with light wind and waves, and should be one of the keys of the victory. I mean, the boat handling and the boat speed.
The intensity and the level of the game here, the smallest mistake normally counts, and as the regatta goes on, we're getting stronger and making less and less mistakes.
We're sailing against Johnny Berntsen. He had a great quarter-final against Taylor Camfield. He was the first pick in the quarters, and it's often the way you go through and then you're the first pick in the semi, so we certainly won't be taking him lightly. Interestingly, a condition change. It was windy for the quarter-finals this morning and the breeze has dropped right off, so I think that hopefully will play into our hands a little bit. The practice that they were getting shouldn't advantage them quite so much.
Ian Williams, who'd gone straight through to the semis from the qualifying round with a bye, was a little slow out of the blocks and was 1-2 down against Johnny Berntson's Stena sailing team. He needed some good World Championship magic to pull this one back. But this was going to go all the way to the full 5 matches in the search for the elusive 3 points.
Johnny Berntzen up against Ian Williams. The wind has settled and the sun is shining here at Lake Constance, Match Race Germany. First stage of this Alpari World Match Racing Tour.
Get to him, Get to him now. 145.
Both boats leading back towards the start line. Johnny Berntzen out in front, and Williams keeping him under pressure.
Come in. Second for the pit, 45.
Encouragement from Williams, trying to force Berntzen over the line. Green flags from the umpires.
Not sure still, Bill. I think he's got it.
Johnny Berntzen has the left. Ian Williams has the right. We have quite a big split. But as the boats come back together, Berntzen with a close cross. Williams thinks he's across, but Williams getting stronger all the time as the boats come back together. Williams turning up inside, and we're going to see umpires' decisions. It's flags galore. Bill Hardesty, tactician on board, GAC Pindar, blazing the Y flag at the umpires. There's the penalty. It's a blue flag. That's a penalty on Berntzen. And now the red flag. Now the red flag signifying that Johnny Berntzen has to do his penalty straight away. Now we're on a beat, so that's just one tack. And here comes Johnny Berntzen. He's round through the breeze. Bill Hardesty and Ian Williams heckling Berntzen. And from a marginal cross, Berntzen finds himself 5 lengths behind. Disaster has struck. As we come onto the final downwind. It's Williams with a substantial advantage.
Think they'll give us time for a schnitzel?
Here, Bill Hardesty, tactician, analysing whether they'll have time for lunch before moving into the finals. Where it's nothing but frustration on board Berntzen. And there you can see what this means. Ian Williams in his first final of Match Race Germany.
In the other semi-final match, Adam Minoprio had to come from behind to win against France's experienced Mathieu Richard and his GEFCO Match Racing team to take him through on a 3-1 scoreline. So, with only 2 teams left, the 16th Match Race Germany was on for an exhilarating pairing for the finals.
Ian Williams against Adam Minoprio. Minoprio diving down from this right-hand position. Across the front of Williams.
He was hit to win for ages.
What's your rotation now?
That's right away. Minoprio must keep clear.
You're hit to win half the time.
And as the crews exchange over that incident, Minoprio at risk. There's the blue flag, so the umpires agree. Penalty on Minoprio.
Speed. 115. 112.
Williams looking for that wide right start, positioning himself to the right of Minoprio. Minoprio seems slower to decide what he's looking for. Now circles back round to try and cut off Williams.
get speed on you.
Williams now turning down to a final jibe before sweeping up towards the line. In the final seconds, both winding up the speed. And as the gun goes, a great start there from Williams to win that right-hand end. As we come down to the second mark, it's still Williams with the lead. Onofrio just looking on as Williams round the mark.
Good.
Go drop.
Now here comes Onofrio. As the Alpari FX Spinnaker comes down. There's the frightening side of the bow wave on board Williams' boat as he tracks away in the lead of this final. As we come forward to the final downwind, that shot says it all. Williams has control. Williams has the lead. And it looks like it's going to be Williams and GAC Pindar that are going to close off Match Race Germany. This is the first stage of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. And it is Williams, the defending four-time world champion, that is going to come through the line to take the win here on Lake Constance and close off Match Race Germany.
Just fabulous for GAC Pindar to come here to Match Race Germany and win the regatta. It was our first Alpari World Match Racing Tour regatta here in Germany in 2005, so it's been a long time coming, but to have finally won is fantastic. Conditions like that, you can't control everything. You just got to do the best job you can. Sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't. And I think maybe we got a little bit of luck in the semi-finals against Johnny. Could have gone the other way, but you know, we rode with it, and you know, the final we really dominated that pre-start and really earned it.
Disappointed, of course, to lose the finals to Ian, but we're extremely happy to start the season off for this year for second place. It's going to be some good points to build on for the rest of the tour. At about 1:30 to go, I stuffed up big time and decided to do 2 jibes, which takes about 1:30. And so we're late to the line, and Ian was on time with speed, so yeah, that's really where the race was lost. The guys did great work throughout the week to keep us in it, but yeah, I made one mistake at the end of the race.
We've got a week off and then we're off to Gyeonggok for Korea and one of our favourite events, the Korea Match Cup.
So final results at Match Race Germany 2013, and the leaderboard looks like this. In first place, it's Ian Williams and GAC Pindar on 25 points. Second, Adam Onofrio and Team Alpari FX on 22. Matthew Richard is in third from Gefco Match Racing Team on 19. 4, Johnny Bernson from Stennis Sailing Team with 16 points. 5, Taylor Camfield and US1, they're on 14. Bjorn Hansen is in 6th place with his Mekonomen Sailing Team on 12 points. 7th, Karol Jablonski on 10 points. Pierre-Antoine Morvan in 8th with Van Aglo's Sailing Team on 8 points. Phil Robertson's WAKA Racing on 4 points in 9th. Keith Swinton behind in 10th. Black Swan Racing on 2 points. And still to get off the mark in 11th, Philip Ball and Sven-Erik Horsch, NRV Match Race Team.